What's up, Ramon? You are now in the kitchen with Chef Nixon for all your fixes for the latest and greatest about VCU men's basketball. So, tonight, VCU had a game. VCU at Davidson. How did it go? Let's get into it. So, Davidson comes into this game uh, still riding that 15 game win streak. Uh, haven't lost since they beat us. Um, uh, However, they did have a really close game there the last outing against Fordham, who lost their best player a few weeks ago, and they barely eked that game out, which led me to believe it's the pressure. It's the pressure get into Davidson, the pressure of having a win streak. Because some people don't really pay attention to that, but once you start winning like that, everybody expects you to just keep winning that next game, which ultimately builds a pressure on you. It ultimately builds a pressure on you just for performing the way that you would like to. So I'm curious to see how they will handle that coming into a game where they're basically playing a team that should have beat them. Uh, if VCU comes into this game, excuse me, VCU comes into this game off a win, a comfortable win over the weekend playing St. Joseph, who was a good team but really couldn't figure it out and put it together. Um, so it was definitely good to see VCU get that dub because they really needed it. Coming into this game, they needed to be at an all time level of confidence and continuity. Uh, because when you look at them, if you look at the previous game, you see how they played a pretty damn good game, uh, and they still came up short. Uh, so that alone just raises a lot of questions. You know, did VCU play the best they could play, and it just wasn't enough? Did Davidson play down to our level? Did VCU's pressure really disrupt Davidson's top five offensive rating? Um, where does the result of this game leave VCU as far as making the big tournament, so the big dance? So there's so many questions that this game will give you an answer to. Um, so I'm really curious to see how it all unfolded. Um, so let's start off with the tip off. From jump, I knew we had energy, and I knew that we were focused. But it just took us a while to find a true rhythm of the game and a true flow of the game. Uh, and we just seemed to be a little bit out of sync. Uh, and Davidson, on the other hand, came out striking. They were all on one accord. Um, I loved their defense, and their defense was just like a wall, and they just weren't letting us get past this wall for like the first four to 6 minutes. And it was like, if they continue to play like this, there's no way we beat them because we weren't getting penetration. We had to force up tough shots. They were going in, but if they could continue to play like that, it was going to be super hard for us to win this game because, granted, we can play defense, but eventually we're going to have to be able to score the ball to, if we get a lead, to hold the lead. If we get behind, we're going to have to be able to score points to catch up. So I was really kind of worried at the beginning of the game. But Keyshawn Curry, again, an aggressive Keyshawn Curry is a great Keyshawn Curry, and that's what we got from him early on. He made a bunch of really big buckets to really hold us over while the team wasn't really functioning correctly yet. And throughout the game, we fought having lulls, but we ended up finding a rhythm. But it was really hard to do. And the main reason it was hard to do because Luka Brockovich for Davidson, number 35, is an absolute beast, man. There's no other way to slice it. Either we just don't match up well overall against him, or he's just really nice. And I think the truth is somewhere in the middle, but leaning towards he's just really nice. He's such a tall, long, uh, big man with skills and can move his feet, and he has this little hook shot that he's perfected. It's ugly as heck, but it's a bucket, and he's just so strong that he just was moving our guys around and getting to the right angle to which he just kisses off the glass. And on the defensive end, he's making some of us change their shots, and it's just like you try to back him down, it's like a stone wall. You can't move him. And it was just crazy how effective he was on both ends to start off the game and really throughout the game. He played extremely well. He got all our bigs in foul trouble, which we'll talk about that a little bit later. And I mean, hats off to him. He played a hell of a game. But with that, VCU not really finding the flow. Davidson playing so well. This is a lesson for both teams, but I believe Davidson learned first. Davidson learned that when you have a team, you have a plan out of sync, you just can't allow them to find it. You got to put teams away when they start off like that. And I know it's like, oh, this is only first for the game, da 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 da. But you saw the formula, and you have to use that to really put a mud hole in VCU to avoid it being a dogfight. It ended up becoming a dogfight because Davidson just let us hang around, right? And when we hung around, we couldn't really get the lead, but we stayed just close enough to them that when it was our time to go on a run, that we could take the lead. So it was crazy to see. It was crazy to see how we were able to do that. And Davidson just had no answer for us coming down the stretch. And somebody cued the Lionel Richie All Night Long song because VCU was the defense. Our defense and our defensive pressure is so damn effective. Like I said, Davidson runs a clean, crisp offense. And like I said, it's ranked like top 5 in the nation as far as like efficiency. So they run this clean, crisp offense, but when they're matched up with VCU, it's so hard for them to get into it because our pressure is unmatched. I mean, there's been times where Davidson had somebody open on a backdoor cut or coming off a pin down, but they couldn't get. They didn't have the time or the space to really even get that pass off to the open man because our on-the-ball pressure was so effective. There's plenty of times where the man would be open. If we didn't have the ball pressure, that was, boom, easy 3. But we just wouldn't allow them to get comfortable throughout the whole game. We were up in their face all night long, and it really cut down. I think they made 3 threes. Davidson, top 5 efficient offense in the nation, and they were only able to get 3 threes off. That's nuts. Like, this team is really one of my favorite teams to watch in general. Like, the offense has never been like crisp. I'm cool with that. They have it. It has its moments, but to watch them really lock up on these teams is something. It's like a boa constrictor, and we just have them gasping for air. It's so awesome to see. You know, I'm a defensive guy. It's so awesome to see. It's so exciting to me, and it makes for really good games because when your offense has a lull, you have to depend on your defense, and this clash. Like, Davidson and VCU are literally the opposites. They're like the yin and the yang. VCU's offense is a little more open, more free, more room to do whatever you like. Rapid, boom, 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 like that on defense. Davidson's more like we're gonna pack it in. We're gonna keep you out the paint type of defense. The offense is very calculated and precise. You know what I'm saying? So they're really two opposite teams just going at it, and that makes for such a wonderful game. But just like our defense was at a high level all night, so were our fouls. we had foul trouble early in the first half, and then it continued on throughout the game. At one point in time, Hassan had 4. Levi fouls out. Mikael Brown-Jones, we're going to get into. We're going to get into talk about him later. Had like 3 fouls. The Loach had like 4 fouls. Our bigs were going. Our bigs were going through the ring. Vince had 4. It was just I never seen so many fouls called on us like that, to the point where just 12 minutes 12 minutes left in the second half, and they're already in like double bonus. So like, yo, how does this even happen? So it was that's a key factor to the game where VCU had to really lock in and play pressure style defense, be up in their face, limiting their passing lanes, not letting them drive past you, not getting hip checks, hand checks, blocking. Like, we had to play such precise defense while being havoc. You know what I'm saying? That takes a lot of skill, it takes a lot of discipline, and it takes the right kind of guys to do that. That is a very special thing, because usually if a team gets into that type of foul trouble that early in the half, the team who's not in foul trouble is more than likely going to win that game. You know what I mean? That's usually how it works. But somehow, some way, our defense was able to maintain through that. Of course, I think the refs were calling a little bit. They were on us a little bit too much. In my eyes, I felt as if the fouls that were being called were. It was shaky, and it was a lot of them. But they made it up at the end, and we'll also get to that. So there's 3 big moments in this game. There's 3 really big moments in this game where we were able to make huge plays. The first, the charge. So at this point in time, Levi Starker is fouled out. The Loach is in super foul trouble. Hassan Ward is in foul trouble. And, of course, with Davidson's offense, you're going to have to switch some. And Vince Williams ends up on Luka. I'm looking at that like, oh my God, please don't let him get the ball. Please don't let him get the ball. Because at this point in time, I think we're like only up by 1, or it was like a 3-point game, something around there. And I'm like, please don't let him get the ball. Please don't let him get the ball. Of course, he gets the damn ball. And the one thing I was thinking, like, how is Vince going to play this? And, like, is he strong enough to keep him out the paint? And even then, is he just going to be able to wall up? We're going to just have to hope that he misses it. Are you going to not allow him to turn over his right shoulder and get to get to that little bank shot? Like, or is he just going to try to do his little hook shot right over the top of Vince, which, not much Vince would be able to do. But I should have known. That Vince was going to get a charge. I say it all the time. Vince Williams gets a charge every single game. And the funny thing about it is, I remember coming out of the timeout, and I don't know who Vince was talking about. He's like, I got him. And I wonder if he was talking about Luka Brokovich. I wonder if he was talking about him. And it just so happened that he was able to get that charge, and that was a huge play. I mean, a huge play. Matter of fact, I think we were up 1. That was a huge play. I cannot stress that. What a thinker of the game, right? What a thinker of the game, and what a way to sell it too. Granted, I think it was an offensive foul anyway. But what a way to sell it, to make the referees have to call something, put the pressure on the referees to make them do something. So great job by Vince. Then the next big play was, we're up 3. Or no, are we up 3? No, we're up 2. And Davidson's running their offense, and it's a swing to the right wing. Brokovich, it was a fade screen. Mikael Brown-Jones was guarding Brokovich. It was a flare screen. Mikael Brown goes under. He goes under the screen. And I'm not sure if that's how they wanted to do that or not. but he went under the screen, and Luka had a decent look at the basket, and all of a sudden, Mikael Brown-Jones takes off like a rocket or a plane or I don't know, like he had firecrackers on his feet, jumps through the roof and gets his hand on the ball for the jump shot. And then here comes the third big play. The third big play. Davidson recovers it. Keyshawn Curry knocks the ball loose. Mikael Brown-Jones grabs the ball, and they call a foul. They call a foul. Oh, I can't remember who they called a foul, but that doesn't matter. But the fact of the matter is, Keyshawn Curry didn't knock that ball loose. He smacked the hell out of him. He literally smacked the hell out of his arm. It was like a karate chop. And the referees missed it. However, if you look at the foul count, that one foul is worth all them effing BS calls they did. So it kind of bounced out, right? So we go down, miss 2 free throws. They try to throw some up with 0.6 seconds left. I don't care if they would have caught it. I don't think they would have been able to get a shot off anyway. So we were able to pull out a victory. So, with all that being said, am I happy? Yes. But am I worried? Yes. The fact that we had a double-digit lead in the second half with under 10 minutes, and we completely lost it and let them come all the way back and had stupid turnovers and missing free throws. These are the things that we did at the beginning of the season that got us beat, right? We started shaping them up. We started winning more games. I just don't want to regress in our late game situation. Think about the losses we had this season. Think about the losses we had this season. Think about how we lost them. A lot of those are because we didn't do things at the end of the game. And I think we took a step back in that aspect today because we should have beat Davidson comfortably. We come like 7-8 points. We should have beat them comfortably. And yet we made it a game in which it shouldn't have been because we couldn't do the simple things that lead to victories. That bothered me. However, I'm glad we got the win. So hopefully we can learn from that and move forward, or just sweep that under the rug or sweep that out the house and get on to the next game and do better. So let's get into our stat leaders. Vince Williams led the way with 16 points, 6 rebounds, Mr. Do-It-All. The charge was so much of a bigger play. And he just finds a way to Vince is finding, I feel like he's really finding his groove now. I feel like even his confidence is growing so much that it's infectious to the team. Like I seen Vince throw a slip pass, or Levi slipped the screen, and he threw a pass, and you could tell his confidence was high through the pass was just oozing out, and the team was just eating it up. So it was a dope thing to see. It's a dope thing to see him grow in that aspect. Ace Baldwin had 15 points and 5 steals. I know Foster Foyer is gonna freaking have nightmares about Ace Baldwin. He's gonna go to sleep and just gonna see a hand in his face, and then the ball getting stole. I feel he's gonna see that on and on. He's gonna hate playing VCU, or at least Ace Baldwin. Levi Stockard had 12 points, but the biggest thing Levi did was on the defensive end. Deloach, Hassan Ward, Mikael Brown-Jones, none of those guys really had enough strength and girth to themselves to really keep Luka out of the paint, or at least getting to where he wanted to. Hassan was too light. Deloach was trying, but he was too light. He really was manhandling us when Levi was kind of out of the game. But when Levi got into the game, he really matched his physicality and really kind of took those easy points off the board for Davidson that they were getting, which made them work for every single thing else. So that was such a key matchup that I don't think people really thought about coming into the game, but it was super important that Levi played the way he played on the defensive end for this game. Um, so for Davidson, Luka Brockovich had 23 points, 12 rebounds. Um, Hong Young Jong Lee had 13 points and 5 rebounds, and Foster Hoyer had 12 points. Um, my low-key player of the game is Keyshawn Curry. Like I said, he carried us in those early moments, and I really think that helped determine the game. And I know it's like, damn, it's the first minutes, but imagine Keyshawn Curry not scoring those 6 points in those key moments, and Davidson getting like a 12-2 lead or a 15-3 lead or something like that. And it could have just changed the whole momentum of the game where we're trying to fight to get back instead of being right there where we could attack. So Keyshawn Curry gets the low-key player of the game. And Tsunamis and Hornets played today. I can't not mention him. He came and gave some really good minutes. Good to see him back out on the floor. And I'm excited because I think he's going to have some big moments coming down the stretch for VCU. So moving forward, in the words of the great philosophers, 3-6 Mafia, who run it? The next game is a rivalry game. VCU versus the University of Henrico this Saturday at University of Henrico. It's going to be competitive. I know the crowd's going to be rowdy. It's going to be another road win that will probably mean something. I'm not sure if Richmond I haven't really followed them this season too much because I'm not a fan. But I haven't been following them too much. But I know they had a lot of guys returning, so I'm assuming that they're at least playing decently and at the top of the league. So getting a road win there would mean something. I don't think it would just be irrelevant, even though Richmond is. So I'm looking forward to that game. I'm definitely going to be in the house. I'm definitely going to be cheering hard as hell. And I expect nothing else but another good, close game that VCU is going to pull out. So, again, like I always say, family, put your seatbelt on, put your hard hat on, and get ready because here we go. So until next time, much love and peace.